What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. Hold on. Ooh, that's blinding me. Okay, my name's Nicole and I am an addict. My sobriety date is July 13th, 2015, and this is my channel all about my recovery and just documenting my journey on medically assisted treatment and tapering off of it. I love doing videos and coming on here and just sharing my own personal experiences with you guys in hopes that those experiences can help you to maybe not make the same mistakes I did in life. So, with that being said, I thought what we could talk about today, because a lot of you have been messaging me and looking forward to these evening time kind of meditations that I did a couple times last week. So I thought, me and Nate just got back. I fed him. He ate so good. I'm so proud of him. And I thought what I'll do is I'll come on and we can talk about how I cope with my feelings in recovery. And so I thought that could be something that we could all learn from. And honestly, I have different ways that I cope because, okay, so let me take you back to how I used to cope with my feelings. Hey, Angel. So before I got sober, I was very volatile. I was very reactive. Like if something happened and it didn't quite go my way, or I got into an argument with somebody, like my first instinct was to react in a harmful way, was to yell, scream, fight, punch, bite, whatever I could, right? Throw something. Before I got sober, I was in a lot of relationships that were abusive relationships between me and the guy. I was very physically abusive. I would hit guys that I was dating. Of course, they would hit me back, but I hit them too. So I have to take responsibility for that. So when I first got sober, in my addiction, I had struggled with, taking my anger out on my husband. Before we got married, we've been together for about almost 8 years now. And before we got married, I wasn't a good wife. Hey, Kit Kat. I wasn't a good wife. I wasn't a good girlfriend. Hey, Cindy. I was abusive. I would cuss him. I would hit him. I would yell and scream at him. Hey, Melissa. And and a lot of it was because I was afraid. Hey, Krissy. I was afraid that he didn't love me. I was afraid that, I was going to lose him. Because first of all, and I'm just being honest with you guys, my husband, he's the best thing that ever happened to me. Every man I had ever been with had beat my ass, okay? Every man I had ever been with had treated me like I was a second-rate citizen, like I wasn't a human being. And when I met my husband, he was kind. He treated me with respect. I remember the first day we ever went on a date together. He took me, we went out to go to this park and go walking, and then we went out to eat. And I remember he opened the car door for me, you guys. And I freaked out because hey, Gunny, hey, Amy, I had never had anybody open the car door for me. Every guy I'd ever dated had, like I said, always treated me like I was a second-rate citizen, like I was worthless. And I had always paid for my own things. I had always, I never had a guy take me out and buy me anything. And Neil, he surpassed every expectation I ever had. Like, he was just amazing. He was everything that a guy is supposed to be to a woman. Respectful, kind, loving, tolerant, patient. He made me feel beautiful. And so when I got sober, I remember thinking, he's not going to want to stay with me. He's not going to love me. He doesn't really love me. There's no way that he can love me, right? So when I first got sober, I had to learn how to deal with the way I was feeling because I was having all these waves of emotions, you guys. I don't know about you guys, but after being high for like 12 years and then getting sober and not having drugs and alcohol to fall back on anymore, emotions for me are really difficult to deal with. I mean, they still are today. Like, that's why I'm really emotional, like, on my videos and stuff. Like, I can't help it. Like, if I say something that triggers an emotion inside of me, there is no way you guys are not going to see it come across on my face, hear it in my voice, see it because I start crying or get angry. Like, it's going to come through when I speak. I cannot hold it back. And so when I got sober, I had to start learning how to at least cope with those feelings in a positive way instead of reaching for drugs and alcohol, right? Because that's what I had always done. If I felt uncomfortable or I felt insecure, just get high. If I felt fat that day and didn't feel beautiful, get high. If I was tired and didn't want to go to work, get high. If I had a bunch of breakouts on my face, get high. You know, everything was get high, get high, get high. That's how I coped with life. You know, there was no living my life one day at a time on life's terms. It was fly by the seat of my pants living life, you know? So let me tell you, when I got sober, you guys, it was a hard, big, rude awakening for me, okay? Because I had to start really feeling all those feelings that I had tried to bury with drugs for so long. I had to start like looking at myself and realizing that I was the one who ruined a lot of opportunities for myself. I was the one who treated other people like shit and lost friends that meant a lot to me. I was the one who lost jobs and opportunities and all kinds of things in my life because of my addiction, right? And when I got sober, all of that hit me like a ton of bricks. I started seeing how my actions and the way I treated myself and others, those things were starting, I was seeing the consequences. I was seeing the consequences of my actions in my life. Everything was playing all the way out in front of me. And it was like, it had been playing out in front of me, but once I got sober, I could see it all for what it really was, you know? And so beginning to cope with the fact that I feel like I have ruined a lot of my life. That was hard for me. Now I try to look at it in a different kind of way. I try to look at it in a more positive mindset that those experiences are experiences that I had to have so that way I can use those experiences to help other people not go through that, you know? But if I'm completely honest with you guys, absolutely transparent, I really feel bad about it sometimes. I think about all the potential that I had, all the things that I wasted and lost out on. You know, I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I'm 37 years old. I have a little boy. I have a family. I have responsibilities, you know. I can't just jump out there and, you know, do these things that I could have done when I was getting high, you know, and I think about those things sometimes. But what I've learned is focusing and living in my past. Living in the past keeps me stuck. That's one thing I've learned. It's okay to go back there and reflect and use those moments as teaching moments with you guys, teaching moments for myself, you know, teaching moments with my husband, with my son. I mean, we can all learn from each other. That's what life is all about, right? But when I stay back and I live in that past, that shit is fucking toxic, okay? Toxic. I gotta pull, it's like having your head stuck up your ass, all right? Do not stay back in there. Don't stay back there. It's torture, okay? Because I can sit here and I can go shoulda, coulda, woulda all day long. But I'm not the magic fairy, okay? I can't wiggle my nose and change it overnight, right? shoot, if I could, it would all be crazy. We would do so many different things, right? I have to get out of that habit of being back there and just like wallowing in it. You guys, it's like, and what it does for me is it triggers this pity, poor me kind of feeling. What it does when I go back into my past and I start focusing on it, because believe me, I do it sometimes. I beat myself up, right? But what that does is it gets me in this mindset where I'm like feeling bad for myself, right? And I can't help it. It's just what it is. And then after I shift out of feeling bad for myself, then I start thinking about beating myself down. Like, man, you should have done better. You know better than that. You were raised right. Your parents were, all these things. Look at these other people who didn't have families, who didn't have parents. You fucking had every opportunity. And I'm just beating myself down, right? And so I'm the kind of person, you guys, that has to go through the experience, right? Nobody can tell me about it. I have to go through that shit. I have to experience it for myself. And then after I get through it, then I'm like, damn, and so every time I go back to my past and I get stuck there for a couple days and I feel sorry for myself and then I start beating myself down, I'm always reminded, like, yo, there's nothing you can do to change that. The only thing I can do today is make better choices for tomorrow. The only thing I can do today is focus on what I have going on right now, so that way I can be a better version of myself today and tomorrow and for the future. I'm telling you guys, it's so easy. It's so easy to get caught up and to get stuck in that negative mindset, and just, it will eat your lunch every single day. I know, because I've done it for many, many years, just over and over and over again. I'm telling you guys, if you'll just listen to me, okay? If you guys will just listen to me and just take a few of these suggestions and just start trying to apply these things in your life, I promise you, it will change your life. Okay? This shit's not brand new. I'm not coming up with any new cures or topics. Like, this is stuff that a lot of people can suggest to you. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of very motivational YouTube channels who are saying the same thing that I'm saying, right? I just am sharing an experience that I've been through behind it, right? That's what makes it that's what I think makes it even more understandable, because like, I've been through the past experience, I've been through the shit, and now I'm coming out on the other side. So I'm telling you guys, like, putting these little things into my life, like positive thinking and working with others and doing these groups with you guys, all these little things making the gratitude lists, learning to love myself. Okay, listen, I am still working so hard, you guys, on loving myself, okay? Learning to love myself no matter if I'm skinny, chunky, whatever it is, right? Ugly, pretty, short hair, long hair, wrinkles in my forehead, no lips, okay? I'm trying to learn, and that's my biggest struggle, I think, is learning to love myself. But if I can do these little changes in my life, I'm telling you guys, you can too. I used to think the same thing, that I didn't have anything to live for. Listen, even if I didn't have my little boy, let's say my son was never born, okay? Let's say I got sober because what could happen? Maybe my parents came back to Arkansas and one of them was on their deathbed or something, and I decided to get sober because I didn't want my parents to see me die in addiction, and I was sober anyway, right? Sure, my son isn't motivation, you guys. He helps to push me, right? Because I have this little life dependent on me, right? But at any time I could cave, right? Anytime. Anytime I could stop doing what I was doing and go back to my old life, right? Anytime I could surrender, throw in the towel and walk off and let Neil take care of Nate. I don't know. I know that exactly what happened in my life had to happen that way. You know what I mean? So I'm just grateful that I have that opportunity. I'm glad my son was born to kind of give me something to work for and towards. You know, I don't recommend anyone go out and get pregnant. But if you're struggling and you feel like you don't have anything to work towards or for, go out and get an animal. Go out and get yourself a dog or a cat and make that your baby, okay? Make that your baby, and then start trying to help that, trying to focus on being a good parent to that baby. I don't know how to say it any other way, but sometimes we just need a little extra motivation. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what? Other things you could do for you girls, like get you a group of women that you really care about and trust, and just like that, make those girls your best friends, and like go out with those girls, talk to those girls on the phone, have girls' nights. You know what I mean? That's what helps me, is staying connected to other women and talking to other women. It really does help me, you guys. I have 4 dogs, I have a son, and I have a husband. I mean, I have a lot of responsibilities, you know? Listen, I'm telling you guys, that little dog that I had for those 2 days, I still have my dog, Paco. But that little girl dog was a special little dog. I got so much love from that little dog in 2 days. She was just giving me these vibes. I'm telling you guys, dogs are so therapeutic. You can get you a dog and get it certified as an emotional support dog. I'm serious. They're just like little people, you know? Listen to me, Krissy. That dog, you don't understand. That dog was a human. That dog was a human. I'm telling you guys, like, I could cry. I got so attached to that little baby in 2 days. I mean, I wanted to keep her so bad. But sometimes we just need something to get something or someone to get us out of ourself, right? That helps a lot, you know? Even if you got like a little bunny rabbit or a little hamster, something that you can be of service to, right? Something that you can make its bed, prepare its little food, water it, you know? It's therapeutic, you guys. So therapeutic. And but I'm telling you, if you can't do that, the therapy comes from the service, okay? Being of service to other people, other animals, other whatever creatures, things, beings, plants. That's where the therapy comes from. That's where the healing comes from, is from the service, okay? The getting out of your own way and being of service to someone else. That's where that healing comes from. So, for instance, if you're struggling in your sobriety and you're like keep relapsing, maybe you keep getting high, some things that you can do to get out of your own head would be go to your mom and dad's house and cook them a meal and let them know how much you care about them. Maybe take your sister out to the mall and spend some time with her, you know, one-on-one. Maybe your parents are getting really old and they don't get out a lot. You could drive them to the grocery store and help them go grocery shopping. Maybe they need their lawn cut. Like, these are all things that you can do to be of service to others that will help you get out of your own damn head. Because sometimes that's all we need, is just something to shift our thinking. There's always someone who's got it worse than you, okay? And I need y'all to realize that. If you think right now that your situation is so terrible that you're never going to get out of it, I'm telling you right now, there's somebody that's always going through something that's worse than what you're going through. And just be grateful. That's why I'm always trying to tell you guys, like, if you can just shift that thinking into gratitude, it'll change your life forever. So coping with feelings in early recovery, what happens is the feelings feel like they are damn waves, crashing waves, like boom, up against the mountain or the shore, and then they go out, the tide recedes, and then you come boom, another wave. I used to cry, laugh, scream like a fucking Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde because the emotions were just so, it was like shifts so quickly. And I'm not talking like bipolar or nothing, you guys. I'm talking just from getting sober off drugs. I'm talking the massive amounts of emotional shifts, you know? Hella. It was just so intense. So, some things that I suggest are meditation. There are some wonderful channels on YouTube where it like plays the rain or the thunder or like this really beautiful like piano with the crackling fireplace in the background. I love those things. I will sit in my room, close my eyes, make it completely dark, and listen to that for hours, okay? Podcasts. I love listening to stories, Audible, any kind of recovery podcasts. Jason Stevenson, that's who I listen to, Katie. And he also does guided meditations for kids. At night, I'll put one on for me and my little boy, and it literally tells him a story. And it talks about breathe in, breathe out. Just let the air come in your nose and out of your mouth. Think about all the things that happened today. Good, bad, or indifferent. All the things that you got to do, all the people that you got to talk to. I mean, these are all relationships that when I'm going into my jobs, I meet so many different customers, I meet so many different managers, and I interact with all these people, and every person I interact with, I'm giving them some of my energy, you know what I'm saying? And when I go around people, especially like when I'm out working and stuff, I always try to give that person like some positive energy and say, hey, how's your day going? Good morning. Wow, this is a great day to be alive, you know? Like, I know you guys probably think I'm crazy, but I'm like 100% serious. You can ask some of the girls that talk to me on the phone while I'm at work. They'll hear me. I'm just a laughing and a kikiing with everybody at my job. I go in and I holler at everybody, what you doing over there? Hey, get to work. That's just how I am. But I didn't used to be like that. I used to be miserable. I used to be sad. I used to be in pain. I used to be lonely. I used to be sad. I used to be hurting in the inside. I used to be full of fear, right? I used to keep my eyes down on the ground and walk and just go straight to where I had to go and then get right out, you know? Not anymore. I go in where I need to go, and I walk with my head held high. I talk to everybody. I look them right in the eyes. Like I have nothing to be ashamed of anymore, you know? And that is a blessing. That is a blessing of recovery. You know what I mean? Really, Kristen? Well, I'm only on 5 milligrams of Lexapro. I wonder why that is. Do you know there are 2 different kinds of medication? One is an SSRI, and the other one is a different kind of medication. So I really don't know why. But hey, maybe he just wants to make sure you're not taking too much stuff. You know what I'm saying? And look at me. It's just Lexapro. It's not even here, you know what we'll do? I'll ask Dr. B what he thinks. We'll ask Dr. B his opinion on that whenever we get a hold of him. But honestly, I was able to feel myself leave my body. I swear, guys, it was the coolest thing. Oh, and during meditation, I bet. Kristen, they're not bad. Like, Lexapro is just an SSRI. And, hey, Angel. And Wellbutrin, but Wellbutrin isn't an SSRI. It's something different. but I don't think they don't interact with each other at all. Maybe he thinks that Wellbutrin is like somehow gonna like react or I don't know. But you know what? You should get a second opinion. You know what I'm saying? And listen, you guys, I'm not trying to make everybody get on Wellbutrin. I'm just telling you guys, like, for me, I'm going to tell you what I was struggling with when I went to the doctor. Okay, I was already on Lexapro, and I had went all the way up to 20 milligrams on Lexapro. I got up to 20 milligrams on Lexapro, and lack of motivation, didn't want to leave the house, depression, crying. And so I tapered all the way down to 5 milligrams and I jumped off of it. Well, when I tried to jump off of Lexapro, you guys, it was the worst experience I've ever had in my whole entire life. I thought I was going to die. So I got back on 0.5 milligrams of Lexapro, and that's where I've been. I mean, I can't get off of it because it's so damn hard to get off of. I mean, I guess I would have to taper down even lower. But even when I tapered myself down low, it still, the withdrawal from it was horrendous. So I went to the doctor and I was like, listen, I'm on 0.5 milligrams of Lexapro, and it's just, I have no motivation. I remember it was probably 3 months ago. I was in bed crying. There's a video of it on my channel. It's called I'm Struggling, and it's from like 2 or 3 months ago, you guys, and I was a hot mess. And anyway, I went to the doctor and I was like, I need something to help me. I'm really struggling. And he was like, that was when I was smoking, and he was like, here, try this Lexapro or try this Wellbutrin. And he just gave me 100 milligrams of Wellbutrin, and it literally saved my life, you guys. It, like, you know what it did? It made me feel like it interacted with the Lexapro and made them both work better or something. But it saved my life, seriously, because, and then I went back, and so what the doctor has me doing now is he has me take Lexapro and Wellbutrin in the morning, and then in the afternoon, like at 2 or 3, I take another Wellbutrin. So I was on a really low dose of Wellbutrin, so he was like, you know, that's a low dose. Here, take another one, and I bet you it'll change your life. And it has. Like, I've been on it for like a month now, twice a day, and I like don't want to go to bed at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Because here's the thing, you guys, like, that's what I was struggling with. Like, I get to a point where it's like I don't even want to leave my house. Right, I only take 200 milligrams. I take 100 in the morning and 100 in the afternoon. And so he had told me that it was what I was on was low. Yeah. And Kristen, I'm telling you, and it's not like an amphetamine or anything. It's not like that. Like, it's just literally a medication that when I first started taking it, it made me feel a little bit kind of like jittery, but it's not like it's not a narcotic. It's not that kind of medication. So it's just, it helped me a lot. Yeah, Lydia, me too. That's crazy. So many of us are on it, and it really has helped me too. So that's see. So, and listen, you guys, everybody's different. If your experience with Wellbutrin was not positive, I totally understand. You guys know I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. I'm just a girl talking about my recovery. So don't ever take what I say and say, well, Nicole said I could be on it. You know what I mean? I'm just sharing with you guys what worked for me, okay? But I'm always going to be totally 100% transparent with you guys and let you know, like, a lot of the times when I'm like going through something, I never miss my medication. I always take my medication. I don't skip doses on my antidepressants because when I do, I notice it. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you take these consistently, or at least in my experience, taking them consistently has helped me. Now, some things that I've noticed is I've gained weight, but that's also because I got sober. I quit smoking. I'm on Suboxone. You know, so those are all kinds of different things that play into the reasons why I've probably gained weight. And I like to eat, you know, so just be mindful that, you know, what works for me might not work for you, but get yourself a physician, a doctor who's going to work with you and help you to find what works for you. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I can go to my doctor. He's amazing. Not my Suboxone doctor, but my Suboxone doctor knows that I'm on Wellbutrin and Lexapro, because sometimes he'll fill it or sometimes my other doctor will fill it, whichever one I go to first. But anyway, my general practitioner, he is amazing. Like, he's so proud of me for being in recovery for 4 years. He knows my story. He knows my husband since my husband was like younger, you know, and he wants me to succeed. Do you know what I'm saying? He even talks to me about getting more healthy with my weight and stuff and encourages me and stuff like that. So it's like, just get somebody that you can talk to that is willing to work and try different things to help you, because, you know, maybe you get on Wellbutrin and that doesn't work. Do you know what I'm saying? Or maybe you get on it and it's working great. All these different things can help you, you know, to help change your life. So just be open-minded, just be honest and transparent with your doctor, okay? Lydia, I do too, and since I've started taking it at night, I don't binge at night, which has been a miracle, because that's what I was doing at night, was I'd wake up in the middle of the night and eat a bunch. But since I've been taking that Wellbutrin in the evening, I haven't been eating at night. So that's a plus, you know. So hopefully I'll start seeing that in my weight. Hopefully, I just need to get more active. That's the only thing that I'm lacking, is I need to get to like the gym and be consistent. So anyway, I just wanted to come on here and do a quick video with you guys about dealing with our feelings in recovery. And, you know, the emotions that you get when you get sober, like I said, they're going to be intense. And sometimes you'll cry and you won't even know why you're crying, especially if you're like me. I will cry sometimes and I'm like, what the hell am I crying about? I have nothing to be crying about. Or I will be telling you guys stories and the tears will just be freaking flowing, you guys, because the fucking emotion in it is so raw. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, especially when I talk about my son, like the way I feel about my kid, that's a whole nother level. How long did it take you to get your sleeping on track when you got sober? Honestly, you guys, the first year I was on Suboxone, y'all are going to die when you hear this. The first whole year I was on Suboxone, I would go to sleep and I would sleep for 30 minutes and then I would wake up. Then I'd fall back asleep, 30 minutes, wake up, off and on, off and on, off and on, all night long. It was horrible. Then the second year, I started noticing that I would sleep maybe till like 4 in the morning, and then I would wake up early as hell, 5 a.m. I was up every morning early as hell. If you go back to when my channel first started, you'll see that I used to do a lot of morning meditations because I used to be up. Then the third or fourth year is when I started being able to sleep all the way through the night and wake up at a regular time, like 7 o'clock, to get my son ready for school. You know? Can they give you anything to help or no? That might be a silly question. Oh, for sleeping? You know, the doctor did say he could give me trazodone or trazodone and something else for sleeping. But honestly, you guys, like, I just didn't want to take a sleeping pill. You know what I mean? Because the way I am, I will eat those things by the handfuls. So I would take melatonin, those 10 milligram melatonin, or I would take a Benadryl, and that would knock my butt out. But honestly, like, I just got, it was like a transitional period for me, because you got to remember, I came off benzos cold turkey. And so that first year I was sober off benzos and opiates and methamphetamine, all that stuff, it was like just a hard transition for me, because for some reason I feel like when you come off of benzodiazepines cold turkey, you don't have no way. It's like you cannot sleep at night. I truly believe that the reason I didn't sleep at night, hey mom, was because I was coming off of those benzos, and it was like, I took so much Xanax in my addiction, you guys. Like, that's why I overdosed all the time, was because I would be high on opiates and I would take Xanaxes behind them all the time. Every single overdose that I ever had was because I took Xanax while I was high on opiates, or I had shot an opiate after being high on Xanax. And I've overdosed probably 6 or 7 times. 3 of those times documented in the hospital where I had to stay in there, you know. So, hey, what did you guys, my mom's here now. What did y'all think about mom's video the other day where she talked about how my addiction affected her life? Did you guys get a lot out of that? Good. Good. Oh, that makes me so happy. Good deal. So, you guys, I wish that I could get my whole family to come on video and talk with you guys. But my dad, I think my dad he's a lot like I am. Hey, we see you. My dad is super emotional. Very, very, he is just like me. Like, he leads with his emotions. And I think that if I had him on camera and I started crying, then he might start crying. And then we would all be crying, you know. So I just want you guys to know, like, I put my mom through so much hell in my addiction. You know, I put both of my parents through a lot of shit. And I'm so grateful to have the relationship that I have with my mom and dad back. Because I didn't think I was ever going to be able to repair the damage that I had done. And I know that if I can repair the damage that I did with my family, because I did a lot of damage, you can too, you know. And that is the reason why I wanted my mom to come on video, was because I want you guys to see that if I can repair my relationship, then you guys can too. And that your parents are just waiting for you to get up and show them how you can do this, you know. They're just waiting for you to live up to your fullest potential that they know you can. So, I'm going to get all emotional. I love you guys. I am so blessed, just so blessed, you guys. When I tell you guys stories about being in active addiction and doing all the things that I did, I just want you guys to know, like, that shit's not a joke. You know, that was my real life. I did those things to my parents. I did those things to my sister. I did those things to my son. I did those things to my husband. You know, I was very sick in my addiction. And I almost feel like what happens sometimes on YouTube is, you know, everybody's trying to, like, entertain everybody. And it's all about, like, you know, getting people's attention. But, like, this is real life shit. Like, these aren't just, I don't make up these stories to be, like, cool or fun, you know what I mean? Like, the things that I did to my parents, I'm ashamed of those things. I'm not proud of those things, you know. And I'm so grateful that my mom and dad forgive me, because I've seen people's parents who never want to talk to them again, you know, because of some of the things that they did. And I've done worse things than they did, you know. So yeah, Mom says, but remember, it's our choice how each one of us deal with the illness of addiction. You are responsible for you. Hey, Tiara, the video is here on my channel about 4 or 5 videos back. It's titled, How My Mom Dealt with My Addiction. But anyway, I love you guys. Maybe one day we'll be able to get my baby sister Christine on here. Oh, Lord. And she will tell it to you like it is. She will tell you guys, because if that's one person who did not put up with my shit, my baby sister Christine, shoot, she wouldn't let me get over on her for nothing. She was so hard on me, y'all. So she didn't play. Anyway, I love you guys. I hope you guys have a really, really good night tonight. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night for our 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you so much, girl. Tomorrow night for our Mara meeting, okay? I love you guys. Thank you for everybody that showed up tonight. I hope you guys have a really, really, really good night. And if you don't have anybody in your life that loves or cares about you, or you feel like nobody cares about you, you guys need to know that you got me and you got Mama Gina, and we love you and we care about you and we want you guys to succeed. So keep coming back. Don't ever give up, okay? Love you guys.